Beep, 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 beep. I believe we are live, which is good stuff. That's what we like to hear. Have this open. Fuck. Where are all these? Oh, I need to do this. There we go. I am now fully operational. Hey, Hardscope. What's up, big guy? How you been, man? It's been a few days. I have returned. I have returned. My voice has fully recovered, as you can hear. My throat is no longer dead. This button, this button, that button. Hey, Alan. Hello, hello. Finally finished the MR9 test. Congratulations. You are on your way to double-digit MR. Very good. Hardscope, did I ever tell you, like, the secret being chilling methods to like grind out your mastery really quickly for like XP and stuff? I feel like I didn't. Why is the stream named that? So, if you guys remember last time, which you guys might remember last time, it was particularly memorable because I was screaming my lungs out and I was going absolutely insano style. If you guys remember last time when we were live, I was losing my shit because DE was wrong about basically one of the changes that they're making. The thing that they're on about is that, like, partial armor strip doesn't do anything, which is untrue. And they used a heavy gunner for their example, and they showcased that the damage reduction from corrosive wasn't big enough for them. They weren't satisfied. Ultra chill way, teach me your ways. I'll show you the ultra chill way, the chill ways for grinding your MR. But basically, they just lied about a lot of stuff. Like, super incorrect. They showed bad math. And I was losing my shit about it, right, on that last stream. However, I decided that I would go back retroactively, and I would investigate further, because I wanted to make sure that I was as accurate as possible. I wasn't really happy with the fact that last time when we were talking about it, I just kind of... I took your guys' word for it on, like, how low the EHP falls when you involve, like, the corrosive and when you involve the dun-dun-dun. And you know, being a high-level player, I want to be more accurate about that sort of stuff. And so I went and I investigated further. And the first thing I did was I pulled up my super precise calculator that I made, which is my spreadsheet calculator. This calculator isn't public because I haven't finished updating it. The numbers are a broadcast, yeah, for real. I didn't make it public, because I didn't finish working on it. But basically, I went and I ran through, and I was just checking all the numbers and doing all the stuff, and I realized something, which is that DE was completely wrong in their example. So I can pull up their example really quickly, and I can show you guys what I'm talking about, actually. Which, we'll grab this, make sure that this is... this page here. I'll put this on this screen really quickly, and then we'll get into gameplay. Okay, and then I will go like this, just so it's chill. Okay, so if you guys remember, this is the page I was losing my shit about, right? And one of the things that bugged me right away is... Hi, Chrissy. One of the things that bugged me right away is this number here. This 104,805 number. I investigated this because they were using a non-steel path heavy gunner. The thing about non-steel path heavy gunners, and the thing about EHP scaling in this game, is it's on a curve. And that curve, if I go to the wiki, and I go to a heavy gunner on the wiki, I also have this curve in my calculator here, which is this calculator here. I have this curve listed in here, like I have the HP scaling. But if we go in here, and we change this to level 200, this guy's cloned flesh is 44,916. And not 104,805. So that was the first major lie of this calculation that they showcased. The second thing that they lied about, it was a lie of omission, because they then just made a blanket statement that this 10,815 ferrite armor gives a 97% damage reduction. This 97% damage reduction is a theoretical number, because the reality of damage reduction, when you're talking about EHP, is that some percentage of this damage reduction is ignored. And it is also made worse in some instances. So if we really quickly go to enemy level... Actually, let's go to armor. I think armor is a more appropriate page instead of enemy level scaling, because I could show you the enemy level scaling. But if we go to armor here, there is all these complex calculations, right? All this dun-dun-dun-dun-dun stuff. The only one that matters is this one here, which I can move chat out of the way if you guys can't see it. It's this one here. Aren't the values in-game, in the in-game picture, the same as the wiki? In the in-game picture, here, they're the same values. In the in-game picture here, they're the same values. But the number they're talking about is completely different. This number here and this number here are completely made up. And I'll tell you how they did that in a second, but it's really fucking stupid. Also, hi, Holly. What's up, what's up? Hello, everybody. I'll tell you how they got to these numbers. I'll tell you how they got to this 3.8 million number and how they got to this 104,000 number. It's really fucking stupid. I'll also just go out and say it. This 3.8 million number is just wrong by a little bit, and I don't know how they did it. I imagine that this number was rounded incorrectly, or this number was rounded incorrectly. Either way, this 3.8 million number, it's close. It's only off by like a couple hundred, but it's just off, which is stupid. But either way, what matters is this chunk here. When we get into... Hang on, where is it? Where is it? It's something with the damage types. Is this it? Effect, armor on health. No, that's the effect. That's that. This is the armor scaling. Removing armor. Where's the damage types? There's a fucking somewhere where the damage types are also calculated for. And they're also accounted for. Basically, the damage types, oh, is it this right here? Yeah, here we go. This is part of it. It's not the full thing. Current value, diminished returns, total, strip. Yeah, that's a good way to explain that. Where is the math for the bonus HP, the bonus damage? Because the bonus damage is really important because of where the bonus damage shows up. Basically, I'll just... Yeah, this is all calculating benefit, and calculating benefit's really advanced shit. You don't need to calculate benefit. I'll just shorthand it, and I'll TLDR it for you, because I can't really find it. Which is that when you're dealing damage to the correct health type, armor gets calculated for twice, basically. So if I'm dealing... Let's say I'm going against alloy armor. Alloy armor is weak to radiation damage by 75%. I am going to ignore 75% of the armor on the target, and I'm going to get a bonus damage of 75%. So this radiation damage bonus will show up twice, this plus 75%. And the same is actually true for resistances as well. So shooting the incorrect damage type at armor is doubly as punishing as well. So you always want to be dealing the correct damage type whenever you're dealing with armor. Something tells me this rebalancing will become a disaster. It will be. It's going to be a massive disaster, which is why I'm so outspoken about it. The TLDR is that basically, when you're calculating for EHP here, this 3.8 million number, it's only theoretical, because it doesn't exist unless you are dealing completely neutral damage. So if the target, for example, has ferrite armor, that 3.8 million number only exists for all of these damage types here, which are completely neutral, and these damage types here, which are completely neutral. And that's the only time that ever exists. The reality of the situation, especially if you're using corrosive damage like you are in their example, and you're using IPS like you are in their example, that you have puncture slash there, is that you are going to be getting some modifications from here and modifications from here. That's just how this works. That's just how it works universally across the board. So because that is the case, when you actually evaluate the EHP, first off, they omitted... I'm sorry, this is really bright. Let me dark mode that. There you go. Now you guys can see. Here's the math for it, because I did the fucking math, because I'm the turbo nerd who does the math. This is their bullshit number that they gave. This 3.8 million number. And again, you can see 3.883422 versus they came up with 3.883359. I don't know how they got it wrong by... It's not even like a full 100, is it? I don't even know. But here's their number, 3.8 million, right? This only exists for purely neutral damage, which if you're dealing IPS does not exist unless you have 100% impact weighting, which is already scuffed. This is the actual number of the target that they are shooting in their visual example here, and not their theoretical bullshit number. Let me tell you really quickly how they got to this theoretical bullshit number. This 104,805 number. I shit you not. It comes from a corrupted heavy gunner. A regular heavy gunner has this number here, 44,917, which it shows in their own picture, in their own image. This number is the math of the corrupted heavy gunner. This wouldn't really matter too much, and it wouldn't make too much of a difference. However, because of the precision of the information that they specifically omitted and the information that they included, my rationality here, and the reason I hark on this so bad, and the reason I want to beat them into the floor for fucking this up, is because it very much is deliberate and it's intentional. Because the difference between going from 44,000 to the actual EHP number of 1.6 million is a little bit more reasonable, I guess, than the difference between 104,000 and 3.8 million. What did I click on? What the fuck? I think I quoted them. I didn't want to quote them. Go up. So, off the cuff, DE's blowing it out of proportion? Abso-fucking-lutely. But let me make it even more clear. I don't know how to pronounce your name because it's in Russian. I'm just going to call you Russian guy. It's even worse than them blowing it out of proportion just as far as the EHP is considered. It's not even the fact that it goes from 3.8 to 1.6, which is already a gigantic leap in difference. However, or I guess even further, to compound on this issue, even if we go with their number, just the value that you get by stripping their armor from 97% DR, which the full DR is actually over here. I know this is bright, I'm sorry. But the full DR is here. This is their armor number right here. And I have corrosive here listed as well. So, this is the number. It's 97.3012%, which I have here. 97.3012. It's 1 minus because I'm turning it from a percentage into a multiplier, but here's that number. Here's the number after you strip the armor, 87.8602%, which over here they have correctly listed. They have it listed as 87%. However, what DE doesn't include is the EHP after the armor strip. Here's the EHP before the armor strip. It's this giant number of 3.8 million. It's so fucking big, even though it's actually 1.6 million. It's so big, it's so impossibly big. But they don't include the EHP number after the armor strip. They only include the fact that the damage reduction went from 97% to 87%. And that's the only thing they mention. That's it. That's all they mention. So, the actual EHP that changes when you strip that much armor For their big target of 104,000 HP, their really big target, you go all the way down to 860,000. So you go from 3.8 million, which is their gigantic, super unreasonable, ridiculous number. Oh, it's too much. They go from that to 860,000. So the actual increase when you utilize corrosive from this number here, 104,000, to this number here, 3.8 million, that's like a 30 times health increase. That's a really big health increase, right? It's a lot. That's a lot of HP to go to. However, when you use corrosive, that number goes all the way down to an 8 times health increase, which is still a lot. I don't want you to be like, oh, that's not even a big number. It's still a lot of HP, but it's also only, I don't know, a difference of 3 million fucking damage by just using bare corrosive at 10 procs and nothing else. Which, again, I have it here in this super precise calculator that I made. Here's the armor strip. It's 87.8206 from 10 corrosive procs. Right here is the 10 corrosive procs down here. No abilities, nothing else, no viral multipliers, no anything, because there's no viral stacks. There's nothing here. It is just the corrosive and nothing else. God bless the corrosive and its 3x dip. Why deliberate lies? Just to make these changes seem more plausible. They are lying because they are intentionally misunderstanding the issue, because that's how the community thinks of the game. This is a community opinion. This is what the community knows and understands. They know that the damage reduction goes from 97 to 87%. They don't know what that effective change looks like on the HP. But let's go even further than this. If we go against the correct enemy, which is the enemy that they're showcasing in this screenshot, this 44,000 EHP, that guy goes all the way down to 368,000, which is a difference of 1.29 million out of 1.66. So out of 1.66 million gained HP, or not even 1.6 million gained HP, out of just 1.6 million EHP, quote-unquote EHP for purely neutral damage, just doing corrosive strip removes 1.3 million of it. Which is an absurd amount of EHP to be removed from just corrosive alone, and nothing else. And nothing else. However, dealing corrosive damage ignores an additional 75% of armor. This is the thing that they're going to be taking away from the system. So if you're dealing corrosive damage, specifically corrosive damage, then you have an even smaller EHP to work with. So if you're dealing corrosive damage, because you're ignoring 75%, that is the same as this damage reduction number here. So this is 300 of the armor, and this is 300 plus the armor number. This comes from the armor scaling, which is over here. This 300 number is present for the sake, it's net armor, divided by net armor plus 300. Net armor divided by net armor plus 300 divided by, blah, blah, blah. The 300s are important, TLDR. Yeah, I fucking brain. It's super important, basically. This is super fucking important. Do I have this backwards or no? Hold on, I want to double check this and make sure I don't have this backwards. If I have this backwards, I'll have to change some stuff really quickly, because I might be special needs. What the fuck? Give me you. Actually, just give me this whole thing. Give me that there. We'll just do this, actually, divided by 300. No, I have it right the first way, because this is the, yeah, I have it right the first way. I have it right. This is the amount of armor that you're actually going to be damaging if you're dealing corrosive damage. So if you're dealing exclusively corrosive damage and nothing else, for their gigantic target of 104,000 EHP, and it has 3.8 million EHP, and it's so big and tanky, it's so bulky, the actual amount of damage you need to deal is 215,000. If you're dealing only corrosive damage at 10 procs of corrosive. And if it's the actual target, which is the 44,000 HP target, the one that they have in their own fucking example, in this one, it's even less at 92,000. So if you're dealing the correct damage type, you only need to be dealing double the HP of the target instead of 30 times the HP of the target. And if it's the correct fucking target and not the bullshit number that they made up, it's even smaller. So why is this so important to highlight? And why do I say that DE blatantly lied? Why am I like, DE's a bunch of fucking liars, they're bullshitting you guys, they're just lying about this system? It's because this perfectly demonstrates the relationship between red health and armor health. The armor damage reduction scaling is just a multiplicative number. That's it. It's just a multiplier. It's a multiplier that forever approaches but never reaches 100%. The more zeros you add to the decimal place, as you go from 99% to 99.9% to 99.99% to 99.999%, each of those means that you have to be shooting 10 times the damage. So going from 97 to 87% is such a massive decrease in EHP that you go from a target that has theoretically, again, only theoretically, 3 million EHP, 3.8 million EHP, in quotation marks, you go from that target to a dude that doesn't even have a million HP. It has 215,000 if you're using the correct damage types and if you're using the partial armor strip, which is what we're using in their example. Only 10 corrosive procs. This doesn't include abilities. This doesn't include extra corrosive procs from the Tau Forge shards. If I give myself 13 corrosive procs by using a Tau Forged Archon shard, that damage reduction goes all the way to 41.8962%. That armor number? What is that armor number here? I have it written down here somewhere. It is armor after strip. It's 200 armor. They have 200 armor after the strip. Let me go here. Let's pop this into this really quickly. It's this number right here that we're replacing. 216.32. I'm now dealing more damage. I'm now dealing even more. This is now a multiplier for my damage. I'm now dealing more damage. Because now the corrosive bonus is kicking in. And now I'm beyond there. So look. If I take this, right? And I slot this in here. Now I only need to deal 45,000 damage to kill this target. I now need less damage than... I now need less damage than the HP that they have. Ooh, not that. Whoop, there we go. So, plop, plop. Plop, plop. Less than the fucking HP of the target. Because if you're using the math correctly, and you're using the modifiers correctly, and you know what the fuck you're doing, and don't get me wrong, I don't expect the average player to just be able to whip out a calculator that looks like this, that they made themselves, that they know how to fucking program and shit. Like, this was a collaborative project that I worked on with another person who is smarter than me, infinitely. Like, we worked on this shit together, and they helped me get a bunch of shit working. And, you know, this is a big, fuck-off, ugly calculator that's meant for, like, hyper-precision, like, super mega accuracy, and, like, blah, 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 blah. But, like, take a look at this. This is a weapon that has 40 base damage and a 50% corrosive mod on it. So this right here is 50% corrosive mod, okay? And this right here is 40 base damage from IPS. This is actually, I believe, the... what's it called? It's the Bratton Prime right here, is this stats right here, with a 50% corrosive mod. In-game, you would have 60%, but we're just going to say it's 50%, for the sake of simple numbers, right? Here's that target, and before we calculate for armor, we should be dealing 60 damage. That's what this stuff is down here, is 60 damage before armor, and 120 crit damage before armor. There are people smarter than me, infinitely smarter than me, I promise you. Infinitely smarter than me. After armor reduction, we are now dealing 20, because all of your decimals will round, so this 19.8 rounds up to 20. 20 damage out of 60. And the total crit damage goes from 120 to 40. Including those extra armor strips up to 13, we now deal 58 damage out of our 60 total, and 117 crit damage out of our 120. Which basically means that the damage reduction has only actually reduced our damage by 2. With these extra corrosive procs accounted for. And you can just see the significance of this. Of my damage bonus here, this is how much damage is added after. So this line is the corrosive, and then this right here is where that damage number is after rounding and after math. So this 20 damage goes all the way up to 30. I have gained more damage on my corrosive. My 20 damage has turned into 30 damage. So I have gained damage on corrosive. If I pummeled into more corrosive, if I went for 120% corrosive, which is more likely, my 47.5 corrosive damage, which would round up to 48 anyways, goes all the way up to 70. 70 damage. I am now dealing more damage as I get closer to that armor strip without getting 100%. And again, if I'm doing, 10 procs of corrosive here, my 47 damage is still 30. It's not an insignificant number. It's a gigantic number. Do I have to pay for tuition? Yeah, go to the Patreon right now and subscribe to my Patreon for more of these awesome tutorials. I have nothing on the Patreon. It's just a way for you guys to support me directly. Full disclosure, I don't have any courses there. Maybe I'll make this calculator public for you guys, and maybe I'll link it in the Patreon. That might be a cool idea, because all of the math that went into this calculator, there's genuinely a lot of love and care. And I was planning on making this public anyways, but maybe I'll do like an early access on Patreon type deal, if you guys really care about it. Because this took, there's a bit of brute forcing in this calculator. Like this here, this is all brute forced. This is all very... 1 Tau green might be better than just 2. Absolutely it is. Absolutely it is. Neonesu! Yeah, for real. For real. Guys, subscribe to my Patreon. I'll tell you how to sell prime parts for more than they're worth. Oh, fuck. I just choked on my cappuccino. Oh, fuck. Ugh. It's really not. Okay. It looks complicated, and it looks really big. Realistically, this is just algebra. It's just algebra spread out all over the place. It triggers me that Kingineer paywalls the math graph, and so does Neoness. Yeah, this is, like, publicly available information. Alright, I'm glad you guys like that I choked on my cappuccino so much. I'm glad you guys are laughing. Yeah, go ahead, get it out of your systems. Haha, the streamer started dying. Fuck you guys. I'm timing all of you out. I hate you. Oh, that's 5%, not 50. I would probably actually... I didn't even know Ken did that until now. I didn't know that either. Peak comedy, surely. Also, this is one of the main things that actually really pisses me off about this change. This is a personal thing. It has nothing to do with my dislike for them changing the system, but I do dislike the system that they're changing. See these health types here? These are the armor and the health types. If I change this armor here, these numbers change automatically. So you can see here this electricity, or like here's the radiation damage here, radiation 75%. And if I change this to ferrite, it automatically changes. Now it's corrosive 75 and radiation neutral. This is because it follows this health chart here that I fucking moved from the wiki over here. I laughed because of the I'm gonna tell you how to sell your prime parts for more than what they're worth. That's literally what his Patreon is. I'm interested in the new blast damage, but if it doesn't double dip on faction, I'm going to be disappointed. Is that. But that's that. That's what I wanted to show you guys. They basically fucking lied. Here's the math that shows that they lied about EHP and how much it changes. And here's the fucking turbo calculator. I made this calculator like a month ago, and I've been working on it constantly. The undercover dev... yeah, the undercover dev that watches my streams actually put poison in the coffee. That's what happened. But this is the frustration for me, and this is what makes me so upset, is, like, do I expect the community to know this complex math and to be able to visualize and showcase the difference? No, I don't. But I do expect that the developers are able to do that because the developers here can see the numbers. And the developers themselves, aside from being able to see the numbers, they very clearly know what information to include and what information to not include. They include the giant EHP before armor strip, but they don't include the tiny EHP after armor strip. They include the fact that this unit has a big HP number, and he has this armor number, and so he has this giant number, but they don't include the fact that this unit has literally half the HP, and therefore half the fucking EHP. They got this math wrong because they pulled the math from a completely different target, and they made up this fucking DR number. This was thrown together hastily and lazily because of a blatant misunderstanding of their system, and whether or not they did it on purpose or whether or not they're doing it on accident because that's what the community understands is left up for debate, and it's in the air for you to discuss amongst yourselves. Why does my cappuccino taste like almonds, Lamau? My cappuccino's cold now. How did they fuck up their own math? I genuinely do not know how they got 3.3883359 out of 3883422. I don't know how they did that. It's such a small difference that makes me wonder it has to do with this here. Like, maybe my thing here is too precise, and maybe they round to the nearest seconds place instead. Because I have this showing more zeros, right? This goes on for a really long time, so you can see here how many zeros it shows. So maybe it's that. Maybe I'm just showing too many zeros and it's a little bit more precise. What is it? 3012 is what I used. 3012. So maybe that's it. I really couldn't tell you. I actually really couldn't tell you how they got that number. The Excel code goes hard. I mean, yeah, like this is, you know, maybe my calculator is actually less precise because maybe they have it directly from the game, but again, EHP is a purely theoretical number. EHP isn't actually how much HP the target has. The target has this HP number, and that's it. The amount of damage they receive is when you're discussing if else. Oh, dude, you have no idea how many fucking if else's I've brute forced into this thing. Do you want to see something really funny, actually? Here, I'll show you guys behind the scenes a little bit. So, basically, there's a specific interaction or like a specific behavior, for, I don't even know how to explain this. Basically, this calculator exists to handle quantization. So you guys might notice some words here like quantum here, and you might notice quantized impact damage. All these values are quantized. This is because, as you can see here, these splits here on the weapon are not actually indicative of the amount of damage coming out of your gun. So in this instance, my damage has rounded very cleanly from 40 damage to 40 damage for the Bratton Prime. However, the weighting of my weapon has actually changed. So I have lost some slash, and I have actually gained some impact. Wait, these are... No, sorry, yeah. Yeah. I've gained some impact and lost some slash, and I've also gained some, puncture as well. Which, why are these off by... Well, these are off by 1. This is driving me nuts. What happened here? Oh, these are off by 1 because of this, I think. Slash. Yeah, this is supposed to be... Yeah, these are off by 1. Oh, that's gonna drive me nuts forever. I didn't even realize these were off by 1. This here is not lined up with these here. That's actually gonna drive me nuts forever. I need to find a... I could insert a line right here in between these. But then that breaks this. Ah, fuck. Ah, chat. Oh, no. Whatever. Whatever, it's fine. Whatever, it's fine. This hurts my soul, but we'll let it ride. EHP doesn't exist. It never existed. It never will. It's all in your head. Yeah, unironically, yes. Yeah, yes, it does. It does unironically not exist. It is just in your head. EHP is actually not real because EHP changes based on what damage you're dealing, whether or not you get crit. Time to put -1 in all the lines. Keeping an eye out for me streamings. Hey, man, I'm here. But anyways, I was thanks for the pufferfish. I was explaining. These base values here, these go through quantization, they get rounded, and they get turned into these numbers here. So instead of dealing 21 slash damage at base, I'm actually only dealing 20 slash damage to the target, and instead that damage has been redistributed into my puncture and into my impact, basically. These numbers have been rounded and they have been changed. And for some weapons, this is perfectly fine, but for other weapons, there's actually a lot of rounding that happens. For example, if I go back over to game really quickly, and I go grab the values off of our Nagantaka Prime. The Nagantaka Prime is a great weapon to demonstrate this. Nagantaka. Here's our Nagantaka Prime. Our base values are 1.7, 15.6, and 155.7. So if we go back over to our calculator here, we go 1.7. I already forgot the numbers. Hold on. 15.6, 0.6, and 155.7. 155.7. You can see here that our impact has now been rounded to 0 completely. Is the stream collapsing? Oh, God. They're still doing construction outside of my house. The stream is still falling apart. No! Hold on, chat. Hold on for dear life. Hold on for dear life, chat! No! Hello, boys. Hello, sci-fi. Hold on for dear life, chat. It's okay. You'll make it through. We'll get through this together, chat. We'll get through this together, I promise. Not again. Not again! I think it's bad. It's so blurry. No! No, chat! Stay with me. Stay with me, chat. Tell me when the stream comes back. Tell me when the stream comes back. They're hitting the stream because they couldn't finish the job. Zada multi-CO until it's patched. You're so for real, Ifta. That's so fucking for real. Fuck all the math, ooga booga. That's so honestly for real. It's stabilizing? Alright, good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. Basically, with the Nagantaka, the only thing I wanted to show you guys with the Nagantaka is that our base impact of 1.7 becomes 0, and our base slash of 155 goes down to 151. We survived DE's Great Purge. Let's go. W's in the chat, boys. W's in the chat. That's all I wanted to showcase. So even the base stats on the weapons completely lie. If you have enough disparity between these weightings, because they get rounded, you're just gonna listen to the stream doing some pastel art right now? Dude, that's fucking awesome. Enjoy your pastel art. That sounds cool as shit. Bob Ross sounding motherfucker. What the hell? That's dope. I like that. I like that. I like that. I like that a lot. W indeed. But basically, our impact damage gets rounded to 0 through this system. And this is because of the way the quantum works, and this is because of the way the damage is calculated. And the thing I wanted to show you, by the way, is I brute forced this system here. Somebody said if else, if else, if else. Here's a funny thing that I had to brute force. If the damage is greater than 0, then you run the math calculation for it. And if not, then it's 0. And the reason I had to do that is because you cannot do this math multiplied against... something from these values becomes 0 when the damage is 0, and it breaks everything. Oh god, don't do that. There we go. If something here breaks, if the damage number becomes 0, if this number becomes 0, everything falls apart. So I had to actually unironically do an if else for if the damage is 0, just return a 0. Don't think it too hard. Like genuinely, like I had to figure this out with a brute forced if else. It's really funny. But yeah, I just thought that this calculator is meant to calculate quantization. We can see the effective damage. You can see that in this example, our base fizz damage actually got turned down from 173 to 162. If I were to shoot at an enemy with overguard, we would see this. We would see this exactly. Nice Excel. Yeah, no, it's brute force as fuck. Look at this right here. All of this is just summing the calculated crit damage, and it's multiplying against the stuff individually. You could, in theory, multiply against everything correctly. However, the reason I did it this way is very particular. I want to be able to use this to debug in case any bonuses get multiplied incorrectly, which happens all the time. I can showcase that with multiplicative CO versus additive CO, which is here. It's based on this right here. If multiplicative, these two things switch. And that's because multiplicative CO happens here, during this moment here. It takes from this multiplicative CO, and it takes your CO multiplier, whether or not it's multiplicative or additive. If it's additive, then your CO happens before that, and it happens up here, in this part of the formula. And so quantization happens in multiple stages, bunch of complex math, bunch of fancy fucking numbers. But even things like the base stats in the arsenal lying to you, which they absolutely do, is like, it's accounted for in this calculator, which is the whole point of this calculator. But using this, I was able to showcase, and I was able to realize and uncover, DE is just fucking lying about EHP. And they're doing a really bad job at lying about EHP, in my opinion. It's genuinely atrocious, and I don't know why they did it. Additive sucks dick? Not always, man. Sometimes additive CO is actually very strong. Also, the stream is probably dying. Has anyone been insane enough to make a completely correct arsenal? That's what that calculator is for, Ivta. However, I do have a person. Her name is Rainy. And she has pretty much one of the most accurate damage simulators I've ever seen. It's missing out on quantization, but if we were to take my quantization of the calculator and stuff... Yeah, I know the stream is dying. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I think it's because I closed the browser window. Just give it a second. They're doing construction. Oh god, stream's getting wonky. Fucking hold the line, chat. Hold the line. Oh lord. DE swatting the stream. I like that you guys all blame DE when my stream dies, even though it's like my fault entirely because the internet is doing it. I appreciate that. That's genuinely great. God, yeah, I can see now the stream. It wants to straighten its shit out. I can't go another day without a Nev stream. I wanted to do that once. In fact, I made a post on the Dystopia channel trying to understand quantization applied to armor. China's bit mining off the PC. No! DDoS extremes. No! God damn it. Oh, chat. Hold on. Hold the line, boys. Oh my god, it's so bad! Ah! Hold, dude, the internet is so unhappy. Hold the line! It's back. Is it back? Is the stream back? Oh god, what have I done? Hold the line! We're back, boys? Okay, we're back. Very good. Very good. Okay, we're back. Ifta asked if it's public. Is the calculator public? No. No, never mind. No! It's DE's fault every time. No! The Excel spreadsheet calculator is not public yet, Ifta, to answer your question. But I will be making it public soon. I could make the current version public, but I need to change some stuff about it. I need to make it so that when you grab the calculator, your OBS network stat must be killing itself. It is. You should see right now. You should see how bad it is. The network stat is just so not happy. It's so not happy. It is literally just always in the red. It's so bad. Hold on, can I screen record OBS to show it to you? I bet I can. Hold on. If I grab... Nah, I can't. Fuck. Oh, chat. This is so tragic. This is so tragic. I like that this is also peak viewership that I've ever had. This is like, we now have like 34 views and climbing for between the two streams. Like, this is gonna be my proof next time you come for my internet. Listen, it doesn't, okay. You know what? Can't hear a damn thing. No! It's so over. Oh my god. They're doing construction right now. Oh, I love construction. Line is being held. Is it just me, or is there a miscommunications problem in DE? And that might be the cause of the problem? It's not a matter of miscommunication, though. The guy who had his washing machine hacked to mine crypto? Nah! What the fuck? Not the washing machine, bro. No way. The thing is, like, even if we were to sit here, somebody invade Nev's stream right now. For real, for real. I believe in stream getting alive. No! Oh my god, this stream is just turbo dead. You guys are 5 minutes behind? No way. Dude, fuck. I don't even know what to do. Like, I can maybe lower the stream quality. Like, if I lower the stream quality, would that help?